Greetings everyone and welcome to another video as we are just plowing through the content that has been made available in the last 24 hours, and not even 24 hours. It's been just like 13 hours since the update has gone live, and yeah, I've been trying to keep up best I can. There is a bunch of stuff to go through, and today we're going to be looking at Y'shtola, who is the only other FF14 character, so almost done, I guess, but there's still more. Anyway, I'm behind. Talking about Y'shtola. Now, Y'shtola at this point, I'm just going to level with most people. This is a character that I think primarily you're probably just looking at this character for selection quest, PvP kind of thing, or PvE. I don't think you're going to be necessarily wanting this character for PvP. I don't think that her upgrades are as substantial as Thancred's have been. Now, that isn't to be negative. I just think it's kind of factual that if we're looking at the way people are doing cost limited stuff, unless there's something incredibly cost limited, it would be more challenging to get this character into a party. Like if we actually just go here, normally sorting by level, but if we just sort by cost, she is a 50 cost. Like, so like, what are you looking there at 240 cost? There hasn't been, it feels like, an event like that on JP for a little while, and that's potentially a little bit more difficult to make her able to recommend. So here I have her in my selection quest party, such as it is, and I've already boosted this character. I've done about 20 reincarnations on her so far. Am I going to do the full amount of reincarnation? Maybe. I haven't decided. She is one of my more favorite Final Fantasy characters, so that's probably reason enough to just throw a bunch of resources at her and go, yeah, I'm a good player. Where was I? Yes. So nothing much has changed in terms of the base dealings for this character, as you would expect. However, master ability total now. Confusion resistance for fire allies, increased TP for self by 15%, acquired AP up by 30, magic attack resistance penetration by 30, magic attack by 30, spirit resistance penetration 20, HP by 20, and AoE resistance by 20 for self. It's a good upgrade, but I'm not over the moon about it. I just think it's just generally fine here, and yes, her bravery is a little bit low. I don't know why that is that way. Dream ability, increase ice resistance by 20%, which, meh, I mean, sure, whatever. I guess it's a gift. And decrease skill activation time by 250, providing she's at max level. That's better. That's what I like to see more than anything. Also, for equipment, I mean, it is a little unfortunate that, you know, her Trust Mastery rod didn't get an improvement. I feel like it could have. I feel like also like Thancred's could have, and it wouldn't have been that bad. Thancred got the Lionheart replica, which is an extra and over-the-top boost from what Y'shtola got, which was essentially, well, you know, not that. If I'm just looking through here, I'm wondering if I actually have another piece of equipment that I could throw on here, but I digress. I'm just kind of playing around at the same time. So yeah, Lionheart replica we can't throw on her. So we're looking at the Bale Gauntlet as one of the major pieces of equipment that is improving her. And yeah, magic up by 30%, spirit penetration up by 20, and healing power up by 15. All of that's good. Y'shtola does have white mage, so healing is a benefit that you can get off of this, and you're getting magic resistance and single target resistance. I feel like this is a really nice accessory to throw on her, even if it is not, you know, remotely magic stat version. And I mean, I haven't thought too much about the equipment, but yeah, Trust Mastery, I probably you're going to switch that out for better Trust Masteries that have come along since then. And also, if we were talking about, there is a bunch of new rods and equipment out there that we could swap in instead. So just taking a look here. Probably not that, but I'm pretty sure we could find something in the history of Wotv that we could put on her that there's gotta be at least one benefit. Well, when in doubt, I could always throw this on instead, just for now. And yeah, just switching up, I mean, like, switching up pieces of equipment, find what you kind of like. We can find some beneficial things. So like here with this build, for example, we're at about, you know, almost 8,000. Again, 20 reincarnations, about 1,700 magic, 58 accuracy, 18 spirit, 108 speed. I think all of this represents quite well for her. And then we look at resistances. I mean, generally really positive in terms of magic resistance. Not so much for everything else, but slashing is okay. And then for status effects, you know, with the Trust Mastery runes that I've equipped, 25% for curse, 25, 25, 50, 50. You know, there's a bunch of resistances that you can actually build her towards being fairly resistant against multiple damage types. All right. And one thing that I did not talk about in the Thancred one was the Bale Burgonet, which is the helmet from FF14. So I'll mention about that now. It's basically like stat increase to about 670 HP and either defense or spirit or vitality if you really want. And the big thing about that one, the helmet, is that now it has disable resistance and pierce resistance, which, sure, for all intents and purposes, disable resistance of a total of 40% now is just solid if you need it. I would definitely build one of the helmets and keep it in the back, or build maybe a couple if disable ever becomes really problematic. Pierce resistance, honestly, the helmet feels pretty whatever in terms of equipment. Not that it would benefit Y'shtola that much. But she got a little bit of the short straw for equipment. I wish that they would have made a new piece of equipment for Y'shtola to really push a little bit more of the upgrades for her. All right, talking about some skills. First off, her support skill, 30% magic, magic attack resistance penetration of 30, accuracy of 25, healing power of 20, and a permanent auto revive, which is pretty nice. That auto revive just can't be dispelled, and it's a pretty big auto revive. 60% HP regained for maxing it. That's unique. There aren't, I think that almost every re-raise in the game, if I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I don't think that there's a re-raise in the game to this point that is actually large. And now we have an idea, 60%. It used to be 20% and it's been upgraded to 60. So that's kind of cool. I love little unique stuff like this that they give certain characters. So happy about that. Counters have stayed the same. And looking at her abilities, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that we've talked about before in the previous video that were her list of upgrades. You look at her job level 25 ability, for example, all the way down here, and I guess I still have some abilities to upgrade, much as I did in the Thancred video, but this job level 25 one, pretty nice range on it. We're increasing the magic attack resistance penetration by 40, 185 mod, and an 80% mod increase if haste or re-raise is on there. And it's actually disables haste and auto revive for the targets that are hit by this attack, which is cool. I mean, you're getting a big bonus, potentially hitting enough to kill them and disabling them so that your opponent can't use them. that is potentially really valuable. Now, does have casting time on it. So, I mean, you're going to want a good casting time Esper. There have been some better ones that have come out since, you know, that time. So that's good news. And looking at some other stuff, I mean, we still have the debuff, which is a decrease of attack and magic by 60%. We still have the human killer one, which has a mod 40 if they have AoE resistance on them, which is kind of neat because if I remember correctly, that one is a single target ability, so it's like double punishing. That's a pretty fun little thing. I like Y'shtola still. I think that she is a really good unit. If you haven't cleared the selection quest by this point in time, I mean, this ability almost makes it a joke, the level 10, because Phoenix is so dependent on re-raise to make that fight longer. And now you can just be like, nah, I cancel your re-raise. No, you don't get it. Too bad. And it's stronger for it. Y'shtola overall is just a much stronger character, and I used her a little bit today in selection quest based content where, yeah, like I said, she makes it feel even easier now than it potentially already was for some people. And the casting time was still a bit of a problem with regular Siren. I had Dark Siren on another character, so it could still be improved. It could still be a little bit better for the casting time, not as instant as some characters would have. And if it was instant, I would say that for selection quest, she'd be kind of a nice character. So many teams re-raise, haste, and if you can just exit that, just eject that from the match, Y'shtola would have a point and purpose to be just a little bit further back, which would happen because she's not as fast as other characters. I mean, she does have decreased skill activation times, increasing resistance penetration ability. That is in her kit, but even that has a little bit of casting time on it. It is what it is, I guess, and I'm fine with what Y'shtola has become. I think that she's generally been improved. That's a nice thing. I think that people can use her. Again, this is a total welfare unit. You can absolutely, from the event, get all the shards and everything that you could possibly need to build this character right very quickly. As I talked about in my previous video, you go look here, yeah, it's just unlimited. You can buy as many as you want. Me personally, I've been playing the game so long, apparently I had 811 orbs for her, which I'm not even sure. I haven't really thought about it, but I'm not needing that much more to fully reincarnate her, besides all the other resources that are needed. So yeah, Y'shtola is a fun little SSR tier character, and I'm glad she got improved, but much like Thancred, it does feel like they shorted this character a little bit too much. I feel like they could have done a little bit more. I think that another piece of equipment, given that, you know, the like if they had made another piece of equipment with no actual model and just said, hey, this piece of equipment, it's for Y'shtola only, and or even just reuse the same battle model or weapon model as for her trust mastery, would have been really fine and a great way to give her another upgrade. But maybe that's just too wishful thinking. Either way, solid upgrade, and that's all I got to say. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. See you later.